hours to get there, so it's what, just 9:15 now, so get there at 12:30, something like that. And that'll be another outback pub meal. So we haven't had a bad outback pub meal yet, have we?
No, not this time.
Oh.
No, it's been pretty good.
Been good, and some of them are really good value. Like you get a steak sandwich or a burger and chips for $20 or $22. And but there was one we went to somewhere that was horrendously dear. I can't remember which one. It was like $38 for that sort of thing.
Along this trip?
Yeah. Which one was that?
Was it in like Bendigo?
No, it was like some of these outback pubs.
Oh, was it?
This side of Broken Hill. Maybe it was Packsaddle, was it? It was Packsaddle.
Oh, yeah, Packsaddle was a bit rich. And what about the one after it when we just hit the corner thingy?
No, Cameron's Corner was good value. Oh, Tibooburra, I think.
Tibooburra, that's it.
Yeah, Tibooburra's expensive because, there's two pubs in Tibooburra, but one of them's closed. So the one that was open, their prices were through the roof.
That's right, yeah, because the other one had burnt down and so they're repairing the kitchen.
So like a chicken schnitzel was $38.
Yeah.
And it was like that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right,
So,
But good meal, just the same.
let's catch up with you along the way and give you an idea of what we're looking at. But the scenery is beautiful, so sometimes I get too distracted looking at it to think, oh, I better take a picture for everybody else.
So Wendy's mum wants to know why we don't see any animals. Well, we see plenty of animals, but Wendy's a bit slow on the camera.
The animals are fast, man. You look at it and go, oh look, there goes some emus, and by the time I picked the camera up, turned it on, the emus are like fast, so they're gone. And even like with the dingo, it took us a little while to realize that was a dingo, but we got a really good view of it, and he wasn't far off. How many meters away would he have been, like from those dead carcasses?
Yeah, probably
30 meters away. So like trying to get that viewing on the GoPro, it doesn't work very well, and then by the time you find the other camera, dingo's gone.
So this is the car park for the Blinman Mine tour. So we're about 10 minutes early, so we'll just have a look around, see what else is here. So the Blinman Mine historic site was a copper mine. So originally mined from 1862 to 1875. And then again from 82 to 85, 88 to 91, 1903 to 1907, and then it was finally closed. But over that time it produced 200 tonnes of ore and 200,000 tonnes of ore and 10,000 tonnes of copper metal. 90% of that was produced in the early years from 62 to 75 and 1903 to 07. So that'd be worth about $30 million in today's dollars. So
you to go to the end of this tunnel, and there's a gate. Stand quite close to the gate, look up, and you can see two stone bridges, but you'll need to get quite close to see the second one. I'm going to tell you a story about that when we get down there.
okay.
You'll have to move around so everybody can get a look, but just have a look. It's really quite fascinating. Who's got kids? Yep. Yeah, he's well. He's right. He's right. That's fine. I've got him on too. They always call her
Of course.
Do the best.
When they
Oh,
were
yeah.
alive.
Look at that. Cool.
Oh, sorry. I get out of the way so you can. There is a bit of a cutout thing there in that wire so that you can stick your phone through and take photos of the jacks. World renowned for hard rock mining. This is hard rock, so they were the best choice to bring over. They came from England to Adelaide on a steamship, taking them 3 months. When they got to Adelaide, it was another month up here on a bullock cart, crashing and bashing their way through the scrub because this was just an area. It was a sheep station. There was no roads, there was no towns. When they arrived here, nothing. So they set up Tent City. In summer, our temperatures can get up to 50 degrees. In the winter, they can get down to the minuses. Pretty hard life for them. We're South Australia's highest town of 616 metres above sea level.
You are?
Yeah, here in Blinman. Yeah, we're South Australia's highest town. I didn't know that either, and I've lived in West South Australia all my life. So I only knew that when I read the sign coming in. But we're South Australia's highest town. There's other peaks around,
Yeah,
like
but not a
Arkalula,
town.
have got higher mountains or whatever, but not an actual town. So, yeah. When the miners came over, they brought their families, but it was only the men that came down the mine. Women were not allowed down the mine. It was seen as a bad omen for a woman to come down. This tour we look at 2 coloured coppers. The first one, green copper called malachite. The second one is brown copper called cuprite. In this mine, they did mine for 5 coppers all up. The other 3 are down below. But there is one little showing of one other of the coloured coppers, and it's right here. And I don't usually show people.
Blue.
Blue. Yeah, it's as you like. Isn't it beautiful?
So are they worth different?
I don't know.
You
Don't know. But isn't it beautiful? I don't usually show people that, but there you go.
You don't want to lick it, no?
You don't if you like, but I'm not taking any responsibility at all. But they had it, followed it right up into here and had it.
Oh, yeah. Look how green it is there. Yeah. Gee, I wouldn't have thought it was that green. Wow.
There it is. It's beautiful, isn't it?
No, you take a shot.
I've got purity from. Did they use any dynamite when they
Hold that thought. I knew you were going to ask that.
I mean, see all the holes, and I think
Yeah,
there must be some dynamite in there.
She calls it terrorist.
Now, before the BPA were allowed to bring any tourists down here, we had to make sure that it was safe for everyone to be down here. So we got in some experts. The top of a tunnel is called the back. The experts actually found that there was a slight fault line up there, so we've got a crack in our back, but it's not severe. And to make sure that it is safe for everyone, we've put in this wood.
Yeah.
It's Oregon, imported from Canada. We didn't cut down any wood for this mine at all.
Pinched my wood.
Yes, sorry. We imported it over. They sent it over to us quite gladly. About 1/3 of the way down, and then some more down below. If you put your phone down through there, you can get a good photo. We were actually going to take people down there, but Oc Health and Safety said no way, which is a real shame. So there you go. Because if you fall,
The only problem with that is you've got to get back up
The
again.
assessment was too high.
but we have left the ladder down there so that you can see just how up and down it was for the miners to come out.
How long's that ladder?
18 metres.
So they wouldn't have used ladders like that.
No.
That would have been luxury.
That would have been very luxury. Yeah, no, we put that down. Good morning, Jimmy.
Good morning.
We're on the road again.
We are. You're not going far tonight.
Not going far. Where are we off to?
We're going to go
Wilpena Pound or the other place?
we'll go to Wilpena Pound and then we'll do a day trip back out to Willow Springs
Yeah.
and a few other places to look at around there. So I might stay there for 2 or 3 days. And then probably go down to Port Augusta after that. So we spent a bit of time in Blinman, had a miner's pasty for breakfast, which was good.
Yes, hard to keep in the pasty. All the stuff started falling out, but it was really nice. What's the story between the miner's pasty now?
So the miner's pasty, so this is a proper Cornish miner's pasty. So it has the pastry rib down the centre of the top, so that's actually meant to be a handle, so the miners didn't have anywhere to wash their hands, so they'd hold it by that little pastry rib and then throw that away when they'd eaten the pasty. But they had one end of it had a little bit of stewed apple in it, so that was their full meal, so dinner and dessert all in one pastry. But it was delicious.
It was delicious, but there wasn't enough apple. I thought it'd be half and half, but it wasn't. It was like
it's only a spoonful of apple on the end.
yeah, but it was very tasty. And of course, they say that you're supposed to check for the end that's got the tiny bit of sugar at the end of it, so you know which side is the apple. But of course, we both bit into the wrong side because we couldn't find the sugar and got apples straight away.
Didn't make any difference.
It was fine. It was yummy.
It was alright. Well, we did the mine tour yesterday, and that was really informative. So the Blinman Mine is a copper mine, and the guide shows you all the different veins of copper and that there. So it's still got a lot of copper in it, but it's not viable enough to mine. So because they've got the Roxby Downs open cut mine not too far from here, they wouldn't bother with a little mine like this.
How many types of copper are there? Like when they're mining?
In that mine, there's 4 different types, because they had a tiny little bit of the blue copper as well.
Yeah, no, she said there was like about 7 or 10.
Was that?
Yeah, 10 different types. But like we saw a tiny bit of blue. We saw the was it red or the brown?
Yeah, reddy brown.
Reddy brown, and we saw the green.
Yeah, sort of an orangey colour.
Yeah.
But yeah, really interesting. It's an hour and a bit tour, and gives you a little bit of history about the town as well. So the current population of Blinman is 27, so they really rely heavily on the tourists. And then it's only a day trip from Port Augusta. I think it's about 158 k's from Port Augusta, but sealed road now all the way back, so we've had enough dirt for a while, and back on the sealed road, so just stopped and put a bit of air back in the tyres, and we're almost back in civilization again.
Yeah, and a quick tip, if you're out at the copper mines and you start touching the copper, make sure you wash your hands before you eat anything or put your fingers to your mouth, because it's arsenic.
Yeah. Arsenic and copper,
Yeah. But
so no licking the stones.
no stone licking. Where apparently they do stone looking when they're looking for opal, so that they can find the opal. Here, I'll show you outside. It's beautiful. So that's this is a turn off to go and have a look at the Great Wall of China in Australia. So it looks a bit high to climb, so we'll send the drone up.
The wrong way, Wendy. Ask her what she just said to me. What are we doing?
We're going into town, and my brain is just used to the van being on the back, and he's coming through the gate, and he wants to take a photo, like with the GoPro of that, and he's turning and going, watch the van, and where's the van?
Not yet.
Not here. It's on site in there, so at Joe's camp. So yeah, I do my thing. Oh, look, there's a bunch of emus. Oh my God, there's so many.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't mind.
When my kids were little, Alex and Kyle, we went to one of the local zoos that has the emus and kangaroos and that, and the mama bird had like a little baby around it, and the kids were chasing it, so the emu walked up to it and gone to Alex and gone pew, straight in the head. Poor little thing. I don't like emus anymore. We were up on the ridge, and Mr. Jim thought because the sun was out, he'll put his shorts on today. And how cold is it?
It's 11 degrees. It's fucking freezing outside.
The wind is so cold. That
Sure, I reckon with the wind chill, it's probably only like 4 degrees.
yeah, up on top of that hill. So we were going to do some hiking today. So we've decided where are we going to hike?
We're in the car.
In the car. We're going to go for
we'll hike from the car park into the shop and back out.
And that's about it. So yeah. So if you're wondering about our exercise regime,
Easy
daily. So Jimmy was going to get a slab of Heineken from the shop in Wilpena Pound.
But I thought I'd better ask how much a slab is first.
Yeah, how much is it?
Have a guess.
$80.
$102.
Oh. Where'd you end up getting?
The slab of Great Northern.
And how much does that cost you?
$75.
Oh.
Nice.
Yes.
So the beer is actually dearer here than it was at Inaminka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like I understand it in
Like here, you're only
that.
150 k's from Port Augusta here.
Yeah. Oh well. So we're off to have some lunch. We thought we'd gonna buy some pies from there, but we decided maybe we'll stop into the resort and have a lunch there. We had a meal there before for dinner, and it wasn't bad.
And the pies are $10 each.
Yeah. Oh shit. saw a wild cat just a minute ago.
Eagle up here.
Black one. Eagle. There's eagle up here too. On this side. Beautiful, those mountains in the background. So picturesque here, isn't it? All the wildflowers.
The dirt roads in South Australia are better than the sealed roads in New South Wales.
Yeah. They are good, aren't they?
See if your room is here.
Yeah, so this is driving through the gorge down the bottom of it. And like, this is one of the few places that you see water. On the way, our first pass, there were a bunch of emus which we caught on the GoPro. So trying to see if we see him again, and I'll get him with this camera instead and see if the pictures turn out any better. But I have a feeling there's been a bit of traffic, so we might not see them again this trip. But this is the most emus we've seen anywhere so far. So South Australia has been a good place for emus. Plenty of water, I think that's part of the reason.